Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial, and today we are going to learn how to work with Firebase Firestore. As you can see, I've made this application where I'm going to post username, user email, and the phone number from my mobile app to Firebase Firestore. So I've created a database here. As you can see, I have one user with the username, user email, and the phone number. The username is LAN. We have email username, that is user email lantech20@gmail.com, and the phone number, that is 123456789. So I can try to register a new user and see what we get. So I'll have lantech121 and then I'll add a 0 here. So we have a new document, and the document we have the correction as username lantech1, that is lantech201, and 12345678901. So the document, we have corrections, and then we have within the document, we have the fields. So as you can see, this is the flow of the application. So I'm getting the username, I'm getting the email, and then I'm getting the phone number. I'm adding them to the Firebase using this method. So the method requires username, user email, and the user phone. So I'm having, first you create the correction, you add your data, and then you listen on success or on failure. So I'm going to teach you how to add and even update. Perhaps you want to update this record. Let's see. Let's update one record. So we have this record. I want to update the record with the document ID of this one. So I just need to copy. And then I'm going to have .document, and I'm going to set it. So this document is going to be updated. The current values are lantech20@gmail.com. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9. So let's learn and update the record. So when you update, we don't get the ID, so I'm going to change this one to successful. Let's learn. So the app is installing. So if I type now learn update, then I learn updates@gmail.com. The phone number I'm going to type in the reverse order, and then add user. So when I come back here, you see we have learn update, and then this phone number in a reversed order. So perhaps you might want to set a custom ID for the document. So let's try that one. So I want to create a record with ID number 2. Let's learn. This is mostly helpful when you want to tie a record to a logged in user. So you set the ID of the document to the user ID of the logged in or authenticated user. So the app is installing. This is just a brief introduction of Firestore. So I want to set the username is LAN, and I want to have lantech@gmail.com, and the phone number I'm going to have is 12347. Then add this one. So we have a document that is number 2 with lantech20, LAN, and 1 to 7. So if I try again to add the same with document ID number 2, let's see. If I say this one and I change, remember the document ID, document path is 2. If I try again, it's going to update. So let's see. Let's add. So you see the username changes to lantech1. So when you want to add a document that is document path with a specific ID, you just initialize it here. If it exists, it's updated. If it doesn't exist, it's created afresh. So this is what we are going to learn, that is adding a fresh record and even updating the record. So let's get started. I have a fresh project which I'm going to use. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to add Firebase. So Firebase Store, and then I'm going to connect to Firebase. So we have Firebase Store, choose an existing Firebase. No, you say the send-inness, and then the country and the region, and connect. So you can see the starting project creation. So after we connect, the next thing we are going to do is add Cloud Firebase Firestore to your app. So let's wait for this one to finish. Downloading, and then as you can see, Firebase project created, add connected locally to project to module app. The next thing I'm going to do is to add Cloud Firebase to your app. So I'm going to accept changes, configuration successful, and then refreshing Firebase state. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to use Cloud Firestore. You need to enable it in Firebase console. So I'm going to go to my Firebase console. Refresh this one. I'll see my app, that is Firestore. This one. So the first thing that I'm going to do is project settings. And I'm going to download this Google service.json. Actually, I had another one, so I'm going to delete this too and download afresh. I'm going to copy this one and paste it to my app. The next configuration I'm going to do is for the database. And for the database, create database. You can do in production mode or you can do in test mode. When you do in production mode, your data will be private by default. That is, client lead light access will only be granted as specified by your security rules. But for this case, we are going to do in test mode. So your data will be open by default to enable quick setup. Client light access will be denied after 30 days if security rules are not updated. So next, then done. So it's provisioning Cloud Firestore. Let's wait. Setting up, and then we are good. So as you can see, we don't have any correction, no document, neither the fields. So I'm going to learn this app for the first time. Remember, we don't have anything, so let me close this one. So the Gradle build learning, let's wait. Oops, we have an error. This error is for, let me enable multi-deck. So I'll just go to my previous application, just copy this one, and then add it to Gradle, and then finally enable multi-deck. Sync your project. So, and then let's learn again. So the app is installing. Let's wait and see. It's launching. So at this moment we don't have anything. We only have Firestore and hello world. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to add edit text field so that we can be able to add the username field, user email, and the user phone. So to my main activity, I'm going to work with linear layout, and I'm going to give it orientation to be vertical. So I'm going to change this one to user details, and I'm going to give it gravity center. I'm going to give it top margin of 30, and I'm going to give it size of 26 sp. Style, I'm going to give it bold. I'm going to remove this one, the constraints, since we are not using constraint layout. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add edit text. So for me to do that, I need to add it to my dependencies. So I'm going to add to design. So adding components, so the Gradle model. So here we are. So I'm going to remove this one and give this one lab content. Lab content, actually this one should be match palette. I'm going to have start margin. I'm going to give it 30. Add margin, I'm going also to give it 30. Top, I'm going to give it 10. Then I'm going to have edit text, match palette, lab content, the text. The type of the text I expect here is just a text. I'm going to give it hint username. I'm going to copy this one, paste it here, and again. So I'm going to have an ID here, ID username. This one should be user email. And I'm going to have an ID here of user email, ID user email, the type is email. So this one should be the second one. And finally, I'm going to have, let me have interchanged. So this one should be, we have username, we have user email, and finally the phone number. User phone, and the text should be phone number. The type and the ID I'm going to have ID phone number. The hint is okay, alright. Finally, I'm going to have the button, match palette, lab content. I'm going to give it a margin of 30. Background, I'm going to have primary. And the text color, I'm going to have white. This is add user. Text color, I'm going to have white. The other thing that I'm going to add is top, that is 10. That is 10. So let's learn and see how our layout looks. Remember, we have not yet started adding the data. So let's see. So the app is installing. It's now launching. So we have user details, we have username, user email, and user phone. So the other thing that I'm going to do is to listen when the button is clicked. So I'm going to have the ID for the button is add user. So when you click this button, dot set on click listener, and I'm going to have var username, which is of type string, which is the username dot text dot string dot string. And then I'm going to have var user email, which is of type string, id email user email dot text dot string dot string, and finally I'm going to have var user phone. This is of type string, user phone of type string, id, that is phone number dot text dot trim dot string. Finally, I'm going to have a method here, fun add user to Firestore, and here I'm going to give it username. This is type string, user email type string, user phone string. So I'm going to initialize my Firestore here. I'm going to have private let var fstore, which is of type Firebase Firestore. Then I'm going to initialize it here. And now I'm going to have my Firebase Firestore. So I'm going to have val user. So I'm going to have hash map of. So here I just provide the key and the value. So we'll have username of username. I'll have the other one to user email to user email. Sorry, this one should be 2. And finally, I'm going to have user phone to user phone. Then I'm going to have now to connect to my Firebase, that is Firestore, fstore dot corrections. So my correction is users dot add, and the data that I'm adding is users dot add on success listener. So I'm going to have document reference, and when it's successful, I'm going to toast dot make text. This, the text is successful, and toast dot length long dot show. Then I'm going also to log . . 。  . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . .
。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . 。
So I'm going to initialize my Firebase And the message I'm going to have is id document reference.id. This one I need to cast it to map, and finally add failure listener, add on failure listener, and then I'm going to listen to the exemption. Same thing, I'm going to toast failed to add, and here I'm going to have error, and the error I'm going to have is exemption dot message. So when you click the button, I'm going to have the username is username, then user email is user email, and finally I'm going to have user phone. So let's learn this one. So the Gradle bit is learning. So the app is installing, it's now launching. So I'm going to have the username is learn. I'm going to have learn20@gmail.com, and phone I'm going to have 123456789. Then I'm going to add successful. Let's go to our console and see whether we have an added user. So just need to go to data. So we have new correction, we have new document, and the fields are learn-tech20, we have learn, and the phone is 123456789. Let's see in our console what we have. In our console, we have the ID. So perhaps I want to edit that record. I just need to get this ID and say dot document, and I'm going now to set instead of add. So let's learn again and see. So the app is installing. Let's see. So our current values are learn-tech20, and we have 123456789. So I'm going to change the username and the email. Okay, so I'm going, instead of learn, I'm going to have username as learn-tech. Then I'm going to have learn-tech20@gmail.com. Now I'm going, instead of 20, I'm going to have 20, and then 1212 is the phone number, and then add. Successful. So let's see this one. So you can see the username is learn-tech. We have learn-tech202, and we have 121212. So when you don't specify the ID of the document, that is the path, it's automatically generated. But I want to do another example and specify the ID. So I'm going to have the ID as ID document path as 4. So let's learn and see. So this time, if the document does not exist, it's going to create a fresh one. If it exists, it's going to update the existing one. So let's see. So we have learn we have learn@gmail.com, and we have 12121212. So if the document path number 4 does not exist, we expect a new record. And in our case, it doesn't exist. So add. So we have 4 here. As you can see, the details of the 4 is learn@gmail.com. So if the record path exists, it's going to be updated. If I put this one to be learn20, that is the username, and add, instead of creating a new document, it's updating. So that's all, guys. You see, it's learn20. So that's all, guys. We have done the adding and updating. So in the next tutorial, we are going to learn how we can fetch all these records and display them in a recycler view. So to do that, stay tuned for the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. And as always, if you are new here, remember to hit that subscribe button.